Okay, where are we at? Day 15, I think. Wow, we're 2 weeks into this series. I hope you're enjoying it so far. I hope you're finding it's making some kind of a difference with your playing. I realise that the nature of this series is we're looking at a new thing every day and we're kind of flashing quite quickly through a lot of different techniques. But there's something to be said for doing that, I think, and just showing up and working on your guitar technique every day. I think when this series is over, it may well be that you want to focus in more detail on one particular technique and maybe spend a bit more time with some of these exercises. But anyway, today I've got what have we got? I've got more spider madness. And I think on day one we looked at the classic spider exercise, and then in another video I looked at spider finger permutations. Today I've got another twist on that spider exercise, and it's a kind of more challenging variation on this basic spider thing. So let me just play it through for you. It goes something like this. Oh, there we go. Doesn't that sound lovely? Now, to explain the basic idea here, so you can see that we're working with one finger per fret. I'm playing this in the fifth position. You can play this in any position you like. And the idea is we're playing four notes on the first string, and then we're moving our fingers down one at a time over on to the next string. So we start with just the straightforward 1, 2, 3, 4 on the low E string, and then for the next group of four notes we're just moving our first finger across to the next string. The other three fingers are staying on the low E string. So we've now got this, and then we're continuing that process. We're now moving finger 2 over onto the fifth string, and we've got 3 and 4 staying on the sixth string. So we have this, and then we've got finger 3 coming over, and then finally we've got all four fingers now on the fifth string. That's the basic idea. So starting on the sixth string and then moving the fingers over one at a time. And just by doing that, it's much more challenging picking wise. I think with the classic spider exercise, once you've got your basic alternate picking chops together, it's actually quite easy and predictable. You're just playing four notes on every string. It's down up on each string, and it's always the same going through all of the strings. But on this exercise we've got different numbers of notes on each string, and the string crossing is much more complex, and string crossing is really the challenge when it comes to fast picking. It's kind of quite easy to shred up and down a single string, but once you have to cross between strings, then it's much more complicated, and you can bump into the other strings, and it kind of depends on the angle of your pick, how easily you can cross between strings and all of that stuff. If any of you have ever seen the Troy Grady website and YouTube channel, he talks in a lot of detail about the angle of the pick and how that affects speed and all of that stuff in quite kind of scientific detail. It's kind of quite interesting, but all of that stuff comes into play as soon as you're crossing between strings, which is why I think this exercise is quite a powerful one for working on that skill. Anyway, let's continue with this exercise. So we've ended up on the fifth string with four fingers. We're going to repeat that string and just continue the process. So all alternate picking still, 4 and then first finger over, second over, and the third, and then we're on the D string, repeat the D string, and then continue the process. Until we get to the top of the exercise there. And all of the usual things apply when it comes to this exercise. You want to make sure you're playing it evenly and in time. I'm feeling this as 8 notes, so 1 and 2 and you want to make sure that everything's nice and clean and efficient. You want minimal finger movement in your fretting hand, and also minimal movement in your picking hand as well. Stay nice and relaxed. And once you've got the ascending version of this exercise, you can try reversing it. So we would start on the high E string, and then we'd come down, and then we'd start moving our fingers across to the next string. So the pinky moves over to the B string now, and we've got, and then the third finger comes over to the B as well, and then the second, and then finally the first finger comes over, and we've got 4 fingers in a row on the B string, and then we move over again, and so on. And strict alternate picking all the way. Just pay attention to your picking hand, make sure it's behaving itself. So that's the exercise. I think this is a really cool and challenging twist on the basic spider exercise. So I'm going to finish by just putting all of that together for you in time. You can obviously get the metronome out as well when you're ready. Have fun with that, and I'll see you tomorrow.